finally the summer heat or spring heat has arrived in the UK. I'm pretty sure that it has arrived in many other places. I know for a fact that it has arrived in Mexico, but since we are getting into quite warm weather now, let's talk about some teas and tops that I think will be amazing for this summer. Hi, hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Grecia and I am a Mexican knitter living in the UK. And today I want to talk to you about 15 different patterns I found scrolling through the depths of Ravelry for this summer. Let's start with 4 free patterns. Okay, so the first pattern is the Claudia top by Dani Ruiz. This top or vest is worked with DK weight yarn, suggested in 4mm needles, and it is a bottom-up construction. You have to seam it. It's not seamless and it's not working around because, well, it is a vest, but it is made to measure, which is great. It honestly opens so many possibilities on how you customize it. And one great thing about this is that the pattern is written in a tutorial style, so I think it's honestly great for beginners because it's going to teach you a lot on how decreases work. Probably also how increases work. I don't fully remember that bit, but it definitely teaches you how decreases work, how to measure your gauge, what it even means to have a gauge. So I think it's a great beginner project. It's amazing if you like a tutorial style type thing. I don't think it has a YouTube video or a TikTok or whatever, any video tutorials, but it is very well written, very well explained. There's quite a few other projects on Ravelry where they explain a few modifications that they have made. And one thing I think is that this top can be a perfect dupe, if you modify it a little bit, for the sole top. Now, one thing I've heard about the sole top in other podcasts is that it doesn't fit very nicely. It has like very long armholes, so it can be a little bit uncomfortable and you cannot really wear it without something underneath. So I will definitely say look into this because it's great. You can make it exactly to the measure that you want. Either you want it a bit tighter, a bit looser, it's really up to you, and the possibilities are mostly endless. And I also can even teach you how to do later a sweater vest, more in like that type of vibe, or even a cardigan. I think that you could even get to that with this lovely pattern. You just will have to add some set-in sleeves, but honestly I say 10 out of 10 and it is completely free. Next, it is the Keyhole halter top by Anna Elizabeth Anderson. Now this is cool girl knitting in a nutshell. Like, if you just look at this, it's just cool girl. It is perfect for the hottest days. It is a little bit flirty, a little bit sexy, if you will, and it is a very nice pattern worked in fingering or 4-ply weight yarn. You're going to need 3mm needles and 2.25mm needles. That's the suggested needle size. And it comes in a great range of sizes from extra small to 5 extra large. It also comes with 5 centimeters of negative ease, which I think could be a great fit for many body types. And you can always, of course, choose to do less negative ease if you like something a little bit less tight, but it is a great size range. It is worked top down. You're gonna do some I think it's increases or decreases, or maybe a combination of both, to shape the halter neck top, and you knit in the round completely seamlessly. So it is a great beginner pattern. It's just a stockinette, so I think it could be good. Of course, this is going to take a little bit longer to make because it is made in quite a small gauge or quite a small needle size. So this will require some patience. However, I will say that it can be a great beginner pattern. So I will say this is a great beginner pattern, and you can of course give it a try. It is free. The suggested yarn includes some wool, probably because of the negative ease, so that it doesn't lose the shape, but of course you can always experiment with just cotton, cotton wool, cotton merino, cotton linen perhaps, maybe even some cotton acrylic if you want to drop the cost even more. So yeah, possibilities I think are quite good with this top, and it's just such a cool summer knit, or like a very cool girl wardrobe staple in my opinion. Number 3 is the Drawstring Camisole by Purl Soho. Now this is also a bit of a halter, but it's not crossed or anything. It has a very beautiful detail on the back of a little lacy, like a little bow that you can just fix around, and it doesn't have negative ease, so it is a looser fabric. It is suggested to work with fingering or 4-ply weight yarn, which I think it's a very good choice for summer yarns because it probably produces a very nice drapey, very breathable, very light fabric that is not going to be suffocating or anything on the summer heat. The suggested needle size is 3.5mm needles, and they of course suggest they're cotton, so you could work this with any cotton that you like. Maybe some cotton linen, cotton silk, of course if you also want to, you can use cotton merino, so it's honestly up to you. Just as long as you grab a fabric that could be nice and flowy, nice and drapey, that will be a very good choice for this camisole. The finished garment measurements go from 33 to 61 inches. You will choose if you want to have some positive ease, if you don't want to have any positive ease, or maybe you would like to have some negative ease. So I guess that could be up to you and what size you want to choose. And yeah, this is work top down. The yoke is worked separately. You first shape it with some increases, and then you're gonna connect it in the round and just work seamlessly from there. It is another beginner friendly, I will say, and it's just stockinette, so it shouldn't be too terribly difficult. And yeah, it's another very good beginner friendly pattern. Number 4, it is the Island Top by Drops Design. Now this is suggested to work in a DK weight yarn. They actually suggest their cotton light, which is cotton and polyester, I believe. I think it could be a very good yarn choice for the summer and the spring or the warm weather. They state in their website that this yarn is great because the microfiber helps you not like absorb the moisture. I have to try that out. I just got some yarn from them, that specific yarn. I'm excited to try it because it's very inexpensive, so I shall report back later if it actually does that, or if not quite. But anyway, this top comes in the sizes extra small to 3 extra large. It is to be worked in 4mm needles with the DK weight yarn, and I will say that this is not such a beginner friendly pattern. It is worked from the bottom up. You will start first working in the lace details. It is honestly gorgeous. It is beautiful. However, I do have a little bit of a thing with drops patterns. They are a little bit confusing for me as a beginner. I'm pretty sure that if you're more intermediate or advanced, you could quite easily read them and understand them and work a beautiful garment. but they are slightly tricky for me to understand when they are talking about the increases or decreases tips. They're a little bit confusing. All the patterns are work the same. They are probably not as descriptive as, let's say, a petite knit pattern or one of those famous patterns. Probably my favorite things knitwear. The patterns that I've worked from her are also very descriptive, so they assume that you know a little bit more. They do have a lot of video tutorials, and they do have a question section, so that could be helpful. I might give it a try at some point, just because I think it's just so pretty. And they have like so many designs, all free, but the writing style of the patterns is a little bit challenging. However, like I said, if you want a little bit more of a challenge, if you are a bit more advanced, that is definitely neat to look at. And I think it's just beautiful with the little buttons, with the lace details. You could probably make it longer because it's quite cropped, but it just really screams summer, or maybe even spring as well. It's a beautiful top. Right, so now let's go into the paid patterns. We're going to start with the Made You Look top 2.0 or second by Vanessa Fleming. Now this top is worked in a DK weight gauge. It is worked with fingering plus fingering weight yarns held together. This is to keep more support, but you could also just use one strand of DK weight yarn. This top is worked in 4mm needles, and this is a bit more made to measure. It does come with several different measures, which is the waist is going to be 23 to 50 inches, the underbust can be 22 to 49 inches, and the cups go from AA to, I think it's G or Q. Well, I'll just pop it here. It is work seamless. You will need to do a provisional cast on, so you need to be slightly comfortable with doing a crochet chain, because that's what you're going to need. And it is work from the bottom up. I really like the roughly detail that it has, and I cannot explain to you how much I love. My cats are fighting, oh my god. So of course I would like to say that the silhouette of a made type of top, it just looks really nice. I think it can be really flattering, especially on fuller bust sizes, but it can also be really good on smaller bust. It honestly just comes up to not having extra fabric in there, which I think is good since you're making it to measure, sort of to measure. It does give you a range of how it goes, but it gives you more room to play around and tailor it to your specific measurements. So I really think that's great. The pattern itself, like the fabric itself, is worked only on stockinette, so I think that gives a very nice finished look. And you can of course use any fun variegated, speckled or self-striping of any kind of yarn like that. I think it will look very cute and very cool with this type of top. So yeah, that top, great. Oh yes, I almost forgot to say the price. It costs $7. Now the next one is the June book by Nat Cantu. This top is so much fun. It's so cool because it's also slightly tutorial, but like you put your own measurements, because this top works with absolutely any gauge, any yarn, any needle size, just honestly anything you want. You don't even get measurements because it's made to measure, so that's quite great. It is completely size inclusive because you're just tailoring to however you like it to fit. It is great because it has waist shaping, and it is a very simple construction. It's actually a nice top-down raglan seamless construction. So I honestly say just give it a look. And I am actually working on this top. You can work it with pretty much any yarn that you want, and you can make it perfect for the warm weather, but you can also tailor it for slightly colder weather and do long sleeves. This top, the testers, because it comes when you purchase the pattern, it shows you all the variations that testers did, and you can do it in acrylic, you can do it in cotton merino, maybe wool if you like. I don't remember if someone said that, but it's very common to just work it with cotton or some cotton blend or acrylic. And yeah, it's just a lovely top that you can customize with very different sleeve lengths. You can make it cropped or less cropped, and yeah, it's just it has this very cute loop hole detail in the chest area that I think is very flattering. The whole cut in the yoke, I think it's very flattering on pretty much any body type, and it also suggests you to have some negative ease. Alright, so next we have a nice baby tee. This is the Tutti Frutti top by Bea Fisher Harrison or Bea Creative Knits. This costs £6. It is worked in fingering weight yarn or 4-ply weight yarn on 2.5 and 3mm needles. It comes in the size range of extra small to 4 extra large, and it is worked top down seamlessly in the round with a contiguous sleeve construction. So it is not very difficult if you have done a raglan sweater or a raglan t-shirt. This is going to be quite nice and fun. It comes with the charts for plenty of cute little fruit designs to put in your baby tee, and these are worked in duplicate stitch. So I think that this could be also a very nice beginner or advanced, well, confident beginner type of pattern. It comes with 16 centimeters of negative ease, so I think it's quite a nice size range right there. Next we have the Choupette, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, the Choupette camisole by Tamara Jordan. This costs $9. It is also worked in fingering or 4-ply weight yarn. It is worked in 2.75 or 70mm needles, which is quite a tight gauge. And it comes in sizes to fit 28 to 62 inches in the bust, which will be around 71 to 157 centimeters. It is worked top down in the round seamlessly, and it has waist and hip shaping. This is also a very nice, very lovely top for all those very hot summer days, just with the nice spaghetti straps and the little frill detail. It's just so beautiful, it's so cute and feminine. So yeah, this is also another great pattern. Now continuing with quite a famous design is the So Summer top by Jessie May Designs. This costs $10. She does have this scheme where you can pay what you want, so you can pay the $10. I think you can pay more if you want to pay more, and if you are struggling a little bit, it's quite inclusive because you can pay a little bit less if you cannot quite afford the full price. This is also worked in 4-ply or sport weight in 3.75 and 3.25mm needles. It comes in sizes extra small to 5 extra large, and it is worked bottom up in the round. So yeah, not much to say about this. It does look like it has quite a lot of negative ease. It is a very drapey, very flowy fabric. So yeah, it's quite a nice, essential, staple little tee for the summer. Now for another summer tea that is super famous and that it's a full-on staple, we have the Tolsta tea by Rebecca Clow. This costs £7. It is worked in DK weight yarn and the suggested needle size is a 5mm needle. What you want, of course, is a very drapey and very flowy fabric. That's why you're working it with a little bit of a bigger needle size. And it also works fast because of that. It comes in 10 sizes and the construction is from the top down seamlessly with raglan increases to shape the yoke and the sleeves. So it is a very nice beginner friendly design. One great thing about this designer is that she includes a ton of variations. So I think you can make it a cardigan. You can definitely do some little eyelet designs. You can make it with stripes. And I'm pretty sure that you can do quite a couple other things. It comes with bust shaping as well, so it is overall a great pattern. No wonder why it is so famous. Next we have the Umbria Summer Top by Cookie the Knitter. This costs €7.50. It is worked with 4-ply yarn in 3.5 and 3mm needles. The sizes are 2 extra small to 5 extra large. This is worked from the top down seamlessly, and it is worked in a broken rib stitch pattern. It is honestly, or at least it looks like it's honestly, such a nice drapey and flowy fabric, which I think is honestly, it's just nice for those summer days where it is kind of hot but you don't want to have a spaghetti strap going on, because the fabric is so hollow it's gonna let air flow through the garment. And if you work it in a nice cotton or cotton and linen, I think that will be just a great fabric to keep you cool. Maybe even like a cotton and silk could be great. Next we have the Lustre Tea by Irene Lin. This is also worked in sport weight yarn. Surprise, surprise. I think most summer or warm weather knits are worked in sport weight. It's very rare to find them on DK weight. You can also find them sometimes, but yeah, sport weight seems to be the it girl for this. This is worked in 4mm and 3.5mm needles. It comes in 10 sizes to fit a bust circumference of 89 to 158 centimeters. It is recommended to knit with 6 centimeters of positive ease, and it is worked seamlessly from the top down. Now this shirt is probably not for the hottest summer days. Well, I guess it depends on what type of fabric you work it with. Maybe if you work it with silk or some linen combination, it might be okay for a warm day, but not a super warm day. It is flowy, it will let air flow through your body and not get all clammy and stuck into your skin if you sweat. However, it does have slightly longer sleeves. It might be a bit hotter for a very, very warm day. But I mean, it's honestly up to what type of garments you prefer to wear on those days. It is overall a very, very comfortable pattern, like just casual and nice, and I love the stripe detailing on it. Alright, next we have the only advanced pattern that I have in this small compilation. This is the Suki blouse by Trust the Mojo. It cost €8. It is also worked in sport weight yarn in 3.5mm needles. The sizes are extra small to 4 extra large, and it is worked from the bottom up, combining flat knitting and in the round knitting. It is working this very beautiful open lace, has this very, very pretty detail work to give some little edges on the lacing. It is worked seamlessly, and it has setting sleeves work contiguously, but it is worked from the discontiguous method from the bottom up, so it might be a little bit different, a bit more trickier than doing it from the top down. Like I said, this is a bit more advanced because it is stated to be quite a technical pattern. So if you are an advanced knitter, or you are probably willing to have a few headaches with it, you can give it a try. The top is insanely beautiful. It is very coastal. It does give that, what was that trend? I think like the old money vibes, and like a very preppy pattern. It is honestly gorgeous, and the colors that the designer chose, that like creamy kind of color with the black edges, it just looks stunning. When I get more advanced, I will absolutely love to knit this pattern because it's beautiful. So yeah, that's the advanced pattern that I have as a recommendation. Next up, we have the Ritz top by Mandy Julie. This costs €6. It is worked in sport weight yarn, 3.5mm needles again. It comes in 12 sizes to fit a bust of 92 to 202 centimeters. Well, that's the finished circumference. And it is worked flat and seamed together. So this is the pattern that is like absolutely not in the round. However, if you just look at it with the lace detail all throughout the top, it's so beautiful, and the shape just really gives off a very 70s vibe. So I honestly think that this top could be great for a very nice day out, a concert, maybe like a little bit of a festival type of vibes, going to a little summer fair or something like that. I think that this pattern will be great for that because of this whole 70s vibe, and because it is worked in a lace pattern in such a small gauge yarn. It's more than likely going to be very drapey, very flowy, and very comfortable for quite hot summer days. So yeah, this definitely is a great summer pattern. Now we're coming to our very last pattern. This is the Naomi top by Marie or Marie-Helena Tricot. It is also worked in sport weight yarn in 3.5mm needles. Comes in 7 sizes with a finished bust circumference of 79 to 115 centimeters. It is recommended to have 20 centimeters of negative ease, and it is worked top down. It has a little detail like I-cord edge on the armpits, on the whole armhole. This pattern is like a 2-in-1, so you can just do the top, or you can add buttons to it. It's going to still be a top, but with the little button details. Now this is a very nice beginner-friendly pattern as well. It is worked in 4x4 ribbing, and it is definitely one of those cool girl outfits. So definitely, if you're searching for cool girl patterns, that is a great one. So okay friends, so we have come to the end of this recommendation. Let me know if you want to knit any of these patterns. I am definitely considering many of those patterns. I don't know if I will be able to finish everything that I want to knit for the summer, because I'm a very slow knitter, especially with cotton. It's just, I don't know what it is about it, that it's so tight on the hands. It works way slower than wool does, but yeah, all those patterns are so nice. I think that there's something for everybody, and I think that if you were to make this, you could get so much wear out of them, because most of them look very neat, very nicely finished. There are some that are just exquisite, like the advanced pattern that we talked about, But yeah, do let me know if you want to knit any of those, or what are your plans for knitting this summer, if you are already starting or if you started way earlier. Yeah, so that will be it for today. I hope I see you next time, and you have a great day. Bye. See you.